Good afternoon. I'm going to call to order the return board for the 2023 primary and special election. And I'm James Crumlish. I am acting chair. Along with me is Judge Furlong. And so with that, I'm going to begin by saying that in the conduct of this public meeting, it's my duty and responsibility to preserve the order and decorum of these meetings. All in attendance should be aware that shouting, interrupting, or disrupting the orderly process of these proceedings won't be tolerated. Those who violate those rules may be asked to leave. The Sunshine Act permits anyone attending a public meeting to object to a perceived violation at any time during the meeting. If you choose to make a public objection, please succinctly state your objection and be aware that an objection is not an opportunity for speech-making, cross-examination, or litigation. We'll now move to public comment. Persons commenting shall state where they live or if they are or not a resident of Philadelphia, and that they are a Philadelphia taxpayer, or, as this is the return board, which candidate, if any, they represent. Public comment is not an opportunity for repetitive or theatrical, rhetorical dialogue or a question and answer. It's a public comment process. That is, it is a chance for you to tell us each of what you think. Each speaker may have up to 2 minutes. However, I may extend, at my discretion as a chair, that time. All public comments must be relevant or germane to the board of business. Finally, also, it is my responsibility to preserve the civility and order of these proceedings. As such, profane, slanderous, discriminatory threats or personal attacks won't be tolerated. Anyone here representing a candidate to offer an argument on a mail ballot sufficiency determination should wait until the specific category they wish to make an argument on is called later in the agenda of this meeting. If there are voters here wishing to be heard on their mail ballot, we ask that those voters wait until we get to that portion of the agenda, and they'll be given an opportunity to speak at that time. Anyone wishing to offer public comments may please identify themselves and step forward. Having no one rise to make a public comment, we will now move on. I'll call on the Secretary of the Commission, Judge Furlong. Judge Furlong, do we have any emailed comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Judge Crumlish. All comments that were emailed by 9:45 a.m. were shared with members of the board and the deputies at 10 a.m. and have been provided to each member of the board at the beginning of the meeting and are available at the public comment table. We received one comment from John Chin. I've reviewed Mr. Chin's comment and asked that it be moved into the record.
I have read it, and I would move and agree with Judge Furlong that that will be made a public part of the record of this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anything further? We have one additional comment.
Yes, Your Honor.
The deputy may.
It may be recognized. On the Language Access Advisory Board, we have posted the application onto our website and have reviewed the applicants. We are continuing to redouble our efforts in order to recruit highly qualified and respected members of the community to serve on this board, and we hope to have its first meeting this summer.
Thank you. We will now call on Ms. Eckroad to present the mail ballot sufficiency determinations. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Perfect. You may proceed.
Okay, so for the 2023 primary, for the mail-in ballot sufficiency determination, we have number 1, blank declaration envelope. We have 105.
Judge Furlong, I would move that we decline to accept that mail ballot as it is a deficiency under the law.
Second, and aye.
Those absent declaration envelopes will not be counted. The next category?
Missing signature. We have 9.
Again, as that is a failure under the law of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I would move that we not count such mail-in ballots that are missing the signature.
I would second that, and aye.
We will not count those ballots missing signatures. You may proceed, ma'am.
Ballots not enclosed in secrecy envelope.
Again, as a matter of Pennsylvania law, that is a requirement, and I would move to not accept those ballots that were not enclosed in the secrecy envelope.
I will second, and aye.
We will decline to count those ballots as identified.
And the total count for that was 521.
I apologize.
No,
You may proceed.
signed by another individual other than the voter. We have 14.
And that is a failure under controlling Pennsylvania law. I would vote to not accept those ballots.
Second, aye.
Those ballots absent or in the name of another voter other than the registered voter will not be counted. The next category.
ID verification, no social security or driver's license on shore file. We have 1.
I've been advised by the professional staff of the commission that they have communicated by correspondence or other with the voter who has provided the necessary information, so I would move that we accept category 5, that 1 vote.
I second, and aye.
That vote is accepted. Next, please.
ID verification, ID provided opposite of what is on shore file. We have 4.
Also, the professional staff of the commission have communicated with the voter, and that identification has been secured. I would vote to accept those votes as consistent with Pennsylvania law.
Second, and aye.
Those votes will be counted. Next category.
ID verification, ID doesn't match shore file. We have 0.
Okay. So if they had been presented, I may have voted against them being accepted. However, since there are 0, 0 is 0.
I concur.
Thank you, Judge Farrell. Next category, please.
ID verification, no response. We have 468.
As they do not meet the standard of the statute of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that controls in this matter, I would vote that we not accept those ID verification, no responses.
I will second and vote aye.
So we will not count that category of ballots that have been submitted. The next category.
Missing date. We have 1,539.
Although I do believe that that is an immaterial aspect of the ballot, and it's subject to litigation presently in the federal courts. However, as a matter of the existing Pennsylvania statutory construction by the courts, I would vote to decline to accept those ballots with missing dates.
I will second and vote aye.
They will not be counted. The next category.
Incorrectly dated, 257.
And also consonant with that, my understanding of controlling case law, noting that the missing date, the incorrect date may have been a non-material defect in the ballot as a matter of federal law. However, the controlling law under the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania requires me to decline to accept that ballot.
Second and aye.
Those ballots will not be committed, will not be accepted. The next category.
Ballot received back in a provisional secrecy envelope.
The professional staff and the commission have reviewed this ballot, or how many ballots is this?
1.
So they have carefully considered all the other validation aspects, and the ballot itself has not been compromised and is retained in the secrecy envelope. Based on that consideration, I would vote to accept that ballot.
Second and aye.
So having said that, that completes the ballot sufficiency determinations. Do we have any other non-agenda items to be added? Hearing none, we will move on to other business of the commission in due course. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.